of those funny voices nights from David. Got it.
It's
No.
always one of those from David.
When
What
is
are
it
you
never
talking
a
about?
funny voice night from David?
Yeah.
That's
it's
fair,
the
but I feel like
pre-show.
it's like
It's a pre-show.
you're laying it on thicker than normal, though. You know.
I haven't laid it on thick. You
I am
haven't
sharing out the show.
You haven't had it thick.
Yeah, the
This is
Queen. I
taking
love when
a
we talk about
weird
anything
turn.
British. I love when we talk about anything British.
British.
This is the pre-show, everybody, where we talk about what we're going to do in the show. Several things happened between the time I finished my notes and now. Ned Beatty passed away.
Ned Beatty?
Ned Beatty. Yeah, he's been in so many movies, like 180 movies credited, Oscar nominated, but he was in Superman 1 and 2. Superman 1, Otisville. Remember that.
Yeah, and he was also in that one movie.
No shit, I just said he was in 180 movies.
The Squeal Like a Pig
one movie. No, he was in 180 of them.
Squeal Like a Pig.
Oh yeah, Deliverance.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks that that's what he's most famous for. I mean, that was great and all, but he's anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy video game. E3 is going on. It's all remote.
Yeah.
Everyone's not even doing like a conference or this isn't even technically kind of E3. It is, but they're also talking about doing an event in the summer, later on in the summer.
Yeah.
I mean,
E3
a lot of
this year
people
is
are doing these
basically
makeup
just,
events.
Yeah, they're just doing like coordinated
trailers,
press releases, which I guess is what E3 always is. But
it is for unless you go and have hands on.
Yeah, but now you don't have to go and wait in line all day to go to only some of the convention or
now
some
you
of
don't
the...
have to be disappointed in person.
Exactly.
Well, you still get to play the games.
Not that we can get to go there anyway because it's.
California. Yeah.
California.
Yeah. But new Guardians of the Galaxy game coming out. It looks great. I'm stoked about
Gearbox.
It looks great.
Gearbox teased the Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which is basically a big expansion on Bunkers and Badasses.
Yeah. I didn't hear about that at all.
That is going to be great. It's Adam Sandberg, Wanda Sykes are involved in it.
Oh, fun. Any other news before we talk about what we're actually going to do on the show? We're not going to talk about any of that on the show. I just wanted to bring it up.
No.
We're going to do Fables Returned. We have a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I saw
we'll
that.
Talk about that. And then some quick hits at Marvel, Demon Days, Cursed Web, X-Men Legends, and X-Men #1 as fall. And, Darkhold. These were all books that were announced or shown a little bit more of. And a new Jeff Lemire project before we dive into the Eisner Awards. Just really quick, really. And then, Hellfire Gala, Heroes Reborn, and Loki. Man, it's a full boat. That's
good.
It's the Titanic, folks.
It is. It's going to sink. It will probably sink.
I mean, our show always sinks at one point. I mean, that's just, matter of course.
That's a given.
For us, but
I don't know. I'm excited to talk about the Eisner Awards. They always
Loki. And Loki. And then food news. And then we do have a moment of destruction because there's Kingdom animated series reveal, and there was a pretty dope comic. Finally.
It was actually pretty good.
I loved it.
Yeah,
fucking great. I had such a good time. Finally. And then top three. My top three is easy this week, so I didn't put a lot of effort into it. So anything else? No news. No more. Nothing else to add.
We don't have time to add stuff. Did you just listen to the list you just gave?
This week.
Netflix dropped the Masters of the Universe Revelations trailer.
Oh yeah, it was dope.
That was
great.
I need to check that out.
That was a toy commercial in and of itself.
Dude, they're playing Hero. I need a hero. While He-Man's kicking ass.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing much to that trailer besides just, stroking the old nostalgia bone there.
Yeah. There's this one scene where Skeletor makes like a little purple circle in the air. And then above He-Man, there's a really big purple circle. And Skeletor punches through the little circle, and his big-ass fist goes and punches He-Man. And, dude, I was like, oh, my God, I'm in love. I got to watch this. Holy
I tell you,
shit.
if you make Orko a badass, you have done something right.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the show would be better served if Skeletor was like a legitimate threat to He-Man. I feel like
I feel that like in the 2000 series of He-Man and in this series, Skeletor is a legitimate threat because there's been some reveals through the toy line where
Oh yeah.
Skeletor ascends.
Ascending Skeletor.
He becomes on par with He-Man, pretty much.
Well, hopefully that's what happens in this.
That's if the toy is any indication, he's basically becomes like just as powerful as He-Man.
I mean, that's just the crux of good storytelling, right? You don't want your hero to just everything to be just an effortless cakewalk for them.
Exactly. You got to push it forward. So we'll talk about all that and anything else that strikes our fancy. Top 5 will happen eventually.
Eventually.
That's the key word.
That's the key word. So let's do this thing. You guys ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what will it be today? Oh. Hello, Darth Vader.
I feel the same way when we're doing this show. No!
I have to do work!
I don't want to work. It's not working? Fun times. Greetings, Geek! Welcome back to another installment, an episode.
Did your voice just break?
No, of course not.
Did you just have a crack in your voice?
Like 50-year-old man. I'm a man!
I'm a man, everybody.
Greetings, Geeks. Welcome back. It's another episode of this Geek in Comics, our Geekers comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
Taylor and AK David. How's it going, gentlemen?
Good.
Did you guys do anything cool this week?
Just got back from vacation.
Oh, vacay in FLA.
How'd that go? Did you have a good time?
I had a good time.
Did you sit on the brink?
Yes, but yeah, I'm glad to be back though. Vacation's fun while it lasts, but good to be back in the old routine here.
Awesome.
I had to power read my comics yesterday and today
because
I had to get by until yesterday.
Nice. I watched In the Heights.
I'm probably gonna go see that next week. How was it?
It's amazing. I watched it 4 times.
Oh man, I plan on watching it tonight. So
Lin-Manuel Miranda, I'm pretty sure he's a genius.
If you can take Alexander Hamilton and make him cool, you are a genius.
I'm pretty sure the guy is a fucking.
Who's this up and comer you're talking about? Lin-Manuel Miranda? I don't think many people have heard of him yet. Get the word out there, Gomer.
Genius. Oh, look, it's Slowby. Hi, Slowby. He's just here to talk shit. He doesn't care about anything we're going to talk about. But yes, it was very good. Anthony Ramos is in it. He was in Hamilton as well. He's going to be in the new Transformers movie. Which is cool.
Okay.
But the breakout star for me is Melissa Barrera, who plays Vanessa here. Oh my gosh, she's fucking amazing in just every way. She's going to be in the new Scream movie that's coming out.
Is that Jimmy Smits?
That is Jimmy fucking Smits. Yes.
Oh my.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's a great movie. Awesome music, great themes and storytelling, and just I don't know, man. I'm telling you, Lin-Manuel Miranda, that dude's a fucking genius. It's amazing. I couldn't believe it. I want to put it on right now. Fuck y'all. I'm going to watch it right now.
I am looking forward to seeing it.
No, that's not what I mean. I feel like I'm appropriating culture if I say it like that. He's great. I think he's a genius of an artist, but I would never say that, Slowby. I would never say that. I would say he's used people's, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say that either.
I don't think you are.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks. I take it back.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
What did you guys do? Anybody else do anything cool? Watch anything fun? Do anything?
I've been catching up. I watched Loki. I've been catching up on Bad Batch.
Oh, cool. See, I'm waiting on Bad Batch.
To...
I think I mentioned this last week. I'm waiting on Bad Batch.
Oh my gosh, it's such a good series. It connects. Yeah. It has so many threads just woven through it that connect to all these other Star Wars series in it.
Nice.
Now, David, something I'm curious about. I never watched Clone Wars or Rebels. If I'm approaching as someone who's just watched Mando and seen the movies, will I give a shit about this?
I think you will.
You're not going to get as much out of it, though. Of course.
I mean,
sure,
there is connections to Mandalorian, the Mandalorian, in the series.
Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian, the Mandalorian. But
you should watch those, Taylor. Though.
Yeah, Finnick.
They're great.
Finnick
I haven't
Tran
watched
sure
those.
they
shows up
are,
in an
but
episode.
like at a certain point, you just have to accept you're not going to see everything. You know,
No.
there's shows that are great,
but
I
really
love,
quick.
But this,
there's only so much time in the world. And there's 7 seasons of that, and I am.
It goes by
it's
fast,
gone.
man.
I'm kind of in Taylor's boat.
It goes by pretty fast.
but
I get it, though. I do get it.
You don't necessarily have to watch, Clone Wars or Rebels to understand what's going on in Bad Batch. It would help if you did watch like maybe an episode of Clone Wars or two.
Oh, you'll have to watch these 8 key episodes.
See, that's the thing. I don't want to have to do homework to watch.
Exactly.
This show,
Well,
exactly.
To understand where the Bad Batch comes from, there's like 2 episodes of Clone Wars, and that's it.
Yeah.
So
they're good, Sloby. You should check them out.
But it's a great series, and it's a lot of it's covering a portion of history in the Star Wars universe that we don't rarely get to see. We did kind of see it with Dark Horse Comics, and since Marvel was it went to Marvel and Disney, we're getting to see this now. How the Republic transitions to the Empire.
So like the Solo era.
Solo era.
It's like right after Order 66, bro.
It starts right off right at Order 66.
Yeah, I've seen the first episode. It's like, Order 66 and on. So cool. Yeah, let's move into news. We got so much to talk about.
Look at the world.
Fan favorite comic making a comeback. Man, oh no, that's not what I want. Fables. Oh, come on, news. Get off there. Fables.
Oh yeah, Fables, fantastic book. I'm kind of glad it's coming back,
Yeah, the premise of Fables is basically everything from like nursery rhymes and these old fables, that we've heard, Jack, all the Jack shit, the 3 Little Pigs, all that shit. They're actually real, and they are chased out of their respective little universes, their fantasy realms, and are forced to live in modern day New York City, and upper New York
now,
State.
I do hope that I mean, it's been long enough, so I hope, but I do hope that the writer, what's
Bill
his
Willingham.
name? Bill Willingham.
And he's
I do
back.
hope that
he's back.
Yeah, and I know he's back, but I hope it's been long enough that he's come up with a new premise to kind of push this forward a little bit, because the main problem with this book was once it was done telling its first main story, it kind of
once
lost
we knew who
steam.
the big bad was and they finished that, it was kind of like he was just fishing for story.
Well,
although the Snow White and Big B Wolf story is fantastic,
Oh, it is.
Good.
It is.
Sure, but like that is something that's always a concern, right? Is something that's really good that just ends up outliving its own quality, right? It's tricky to know when to stop. And have we passed the point where Fables should have stopped?
We have,
arguably,
and I'll show you why.
We did, yes.
This is Batman versus Bigby.
I can kind of leave this one. I have enough Batman in my life.
This is a 5-issue miniseries that's going to come out. Same, creative team on this as the other ones, but it's on Black Label, which is basically Vertigo, which is what Fables was.
I thought Black Label was done with. I thought they weren't.
No, they're keeping it around. It's stupid.
Okay.
Black Label has become their "this is not continuity" stamp.
Yeah, this is a safe place for them to play in a big sandbox.
Exactly. I just imagine the conversations that happened. An editor was like, "Hey, there's this Fables thing that was on Vertigo." Talking to an executive saying, "Hey, we should bring this back," and dude's like, "Hey, fine, put Batman in it too." And dude's like, "Oh, okay, let me call Bill and say, hey, will you put Batman in a Fables book?" He's like, "What the fuck? What do you want me to do?" I'm sorry.
I mean, it could be good. I mean, benefit of the doubt. Like,
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I wouldn't have.
It probably would be good.
One of the best
I'm just not gonna buy it.
I'm still waiting for the Robin Starro tease back there in the lockdowns. This is the place to do it.
One of the best issues of Planetary was the one where they crossed over with Batman.
It's
so
true.
It is possible to do good crossovers like
Planetary was a little bit different. I think.
That's fair, but still.
The whole idea of
Fables... Do you remember the Elmer Fudd Batman crossover book
that
they
was
did like
excellent.
a couple years ago?
It was actually quite good.
Be very, very quiet.
Yeah. but Fables is supposed to be like inherently in our universe, in the real world. You know, that's part of the
Yeah.
magic of it. Literally, you know, there's magic in that book, but I don't know. So issue 151. Go ahead.
Just that, Fables is one of those like comics readers comics. It's one that I don't think ever
Yes.
really like pierced the zeitgeist that much, but one that is like universally beloved by everyone I know of who's ever read it.
And the thing about it is, literally anyone can pick this up because it's inherently steeped in concepts. It's rooted in things that
It's
you
about
already
fables.
know.
Yeah, I mean everyone knows Red Riding Hood, Snow White, Big Bad Wolf, all this stuff.
Jack, which was my
Yeah.
favorite of the series. You know, there was a ton of miniseries spin-offs in this exploring.
Jack had his own book for
Jack
a while.
had his own book where he would go on all of these cool adventures, dude. It was so fun. Which was Jack's sort of shtick, because in all of these fables, Jack is Jack and the Beanstalk, Jack and Jill, Jack and the Candlestick. Jack is all of these Jacks so he did more shit than everybody else. And oh man, I love that series. So yeah, that'll be out later this year.
And Pinocchio will be perpetually 10 years old.
Yeah, Pinocchio was one of those weird characters.
I'm a real boy now.
Beauty and the Beast was just hilarious. Them in marriage counseling. Oh man, it's so good. It's such a fun series, and it's coming back. So my wife is excited. The Amazing Amanda, she's a Fables fan. We don't even have all of the trades. I'm not sure if she just dropped off of it.
How
There's
many
a lot,
volumes
man.
is Fables? It's like dozens, right?
It's 150 issues plus like 5 different spin-offs, including Jack.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, dude.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I have up to the 12th trade. I think there's 22 trades. I have up to 12. There's 20 or 22. But that's not including, again, which I have almost all of Jack of Fables. And because my wife just liked Jack of Fables more. And it's more entertaining. It's exciting. Anyway, moving on. Alpha DC on to Marvel. Just some quick hits here. Demon Days Cursed Web was announced. Another Peach Momoko joint.
I'm down for all these Peach Momoko Demon
Yeah,
Days
dude.
books. They're
It's
all
her own
just fun.
take on fables, on like ancient cultural
And
fables.
they happen sparingly enough. I mean, they only drop like once every other month, it seems like.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of an investment, and it's something completely different from whatever else is going on with
and her
all
style
the X-Men
is just
stuff.
so unique.
Yeah.
It's very nice. It's very pretty.
It's worth the price of admission just to get like the Peach Momoko drawn. Like here's Wolverine, but like in feudal Japan, or like whatever it is she's doing at this given time.
Yeah. I like her work. She's doing so many variant covers, so she's getting a lot of work. Next quick hit over at Marvel. Oh, that comes out September 1st, by the way. X-Men Legends number 7, which is also due out in September. This is Larry Hama picking up his Wolverine run with Billy Tan. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
This is a twofer for me because, man, it's so dope that Larry Hama is, getting more work at Marvel, but it's also
that is really cool because he just did that Iron Fist book, which was pretty damn good.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
And now he's getting this X-Men stuff, and putting him on a '90s throwback book
is perfect.
It's perfect. Yeah,
it works. Yeah. For some reason I missed these, so let me load these up real quick. X-Men number 1, they did put out some new pages. Here's the wrap cover. Again, it's Gary Duggan, Pepe Larraz coming out. Next month, I think it's coming out. So they put out some of this Pepe Larraz artwork, and man, it's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We're gonna be talking the hell out of some X-Men here in just a few minutes, but I want to show off these pages. Just they look so damn good. Hold on, let me.
Looks like weird Hickman X-Men stuff, even though it's Gary Dugan.
I know, right? I mean, and we'll have to talk about that because
I feel like Hickman is like the dean of weird shit, but like Gary Dugan does some good weird shit too.
He does do some weird shit, but that's
awesome. Yeah, I love these pictures. I mean, that's just great. Rogue taking on stuff. Man, it's so good. So yeah, great art. Really looking forward to that. And I mean, we're going to talk about end of an era, with Hickman leaving X-Men. He hasn't left X-Men, but he's left.
This new team's an interesting team. It's a very, I would say, low-profile team. It's a lot of characters who don't. They're not a lot of heavy hitters on that team. Well, there are heavy hitters power-wise, but not like
well known.
I feel like the general formula. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, that's a common approach for these team books, though. You throw in Cyclops, Jean, and Rogue, the quote unquote mainstays for the X-Men, and then you're free to pepper in some characters that could use a boost in their profile, and this is a way for them to get dynamics that we rarely, if ever, have seen before.
And characters who work with whatever story the writer wants to tell here, which is why I'm sure he has at least a couple of these characters. But then there's Polaris, who was literally voted onto the team by the readers, which is pretty rad. And I'm interested to see how Duggan does that, how he takes her and adds her.
Also,
to his story.
I'm just really glad that Duggan kind of has this book, because Duggan has been around forever at Marvel, and he's always kind of been the C-list, B-list character.
But he's always written good stuff,
and he's he did a really good, almost like a 10-year-long Deadpool run that was actually really damn good.
Wasn't his run like a character-defining run on Deadpool?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Hard not to.
Yeah,
he was mentioned in the fucking movie.
Yeah,
in the Deadpool 2 movie.
But Adam's right. I think this is his first time getting a flagship title.
Yeah,
at least to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah, he deserves it, man. His books
getting called up.
His books in the X universe right now, the X franchises, are the best. His Marauders has been top notch. Last Marvel announcement: the wait is over. Steve Orlando and Cian Tormey's Darkhold Alpha #1. This is going to start a Magic-y sort of event, just in time for, of course,
Halloween.
The Doctor Strange and everyone's announcing that. When is this coming out? September 22nd. So
is this event gonna go through the main Marvel books, or is
I don't know.
Or is it just going to be a bunch of random one-shots?
I don't think they've announced any tie-ins yet. Okay. I think they've just said this so far.
Okay.
Yeah, so
if it's just a bunch of random one-shots, I'm probably going to skip this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if it crosses over, dude, what's it going to cross over into?
The characters here are Spider-Man, Black Bolt,
Strange Academy.
I mean, yeah, what other Magic-y books are there at Marvel right now besides Strange Academy? That's what Darkhold is going to be, I assume, right?
It seems to me that they're really just trying to cash in on that WandaVision.
Sure.
Moment, which, hey, definitely. More power to them.
Yeah, definitely. So look for that. I don't know if I'm going to read that. I need to see some more pages.
I do love Jason Dr. Doom, and it looks like he's going to be the bad guy here. So
yeah, dude. He's magical. He's magic-y.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's the second best sorcerer in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I don't know. We can debate that. Jeff Lemire has a new project with Andrea Sorrentino. Man, this is the Dream Team from Gideon Falls. They also did the Green Arrow book. Is that what they met?
They did do a Green Arrow book.
I think that's where their first project.
The Murder
together.
Machine, yeah.
Yeah. This is coming out in September. This is all that's teased. It was previously codenamed Project Bark, and if you can see, it's the moon with a paw print. It's the whole Gideon Falls team. Dave Stewart and Steve Wands, and there'll be more information later this week.
Yeah,
it's really different from Gideon Falls, which was a horror book.
You can't go wrong with this creative team. So
man, I'm so excited. This is as soon as I saw it on his newsletter. This is my.
You better put it on your list you better put it on your list because issue 1's going to go fast.
It's an Image Comics book, so they'll just send it to me.
They'll make multiple,
and they'll just send
runs.
All right, let's get into it. The Eisner Awards, basically the Oscars of the comic book industry. These aren't really voted on by anybody specific. They just sort of get a revolving group, I think, to vote and nominate and everything. But again, it's always a good gauge, and a good, feather in the cap of some of these creators.
Sure.
So best single issue, The Burning Hotels was on Birdcage Bottom Books. Hedra which is on Image Comics, which we
It was
read.
we did
Pedro
read
was
that.
great.
That
Pedro
was pretty good.
dope, dude. The Other History of the DC Universe #1, John Ridley and Giuseppe Camicoli. I have a little bit of a problem with that being on here because I think the issues that came after that were actually better. I think this series has actually gotten better as it's gone on. And then Sports is Hell and Stanley's Ghost, 2 books you guys haven't heard of. Best continuing series.
That's how it always is with these like award seasons for like any medium, right? Like the books and movies and TV shows that people have seen and actually watched in large numbers are usually few and far between, right?
Yeah. More so with movies, I would say.
More so with movies than TV shows for sure.
Because I think it's so easy to just sit down and watch a TV show.
That's fair.
It is.
Okay, I guess movies and comics are more along that line then of mostly these are like art house things that a lot of people probably haven't actually read.
Yeah, it's hard to, and it's not, and I think it is a little bit different with comics because a lot of times you've never even heard of these damn books.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But with movies, you've seen a commercial for it. If you go to the movies, you've seen the movie on the marquee, the title,
Well,
I think it's just that there's so many damn comics.
That is part of it.
Hundreds of them a month.
I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing though. It gives me a nice list of books from the last year that I missed that I need to check out.
I do the same thing with movies. If there's an Oscar-nominated movie or a Golden Globes or Emmys, I guess, nominated TV show, I'm definitely going to give it a shot, because it was nominated. Best continuing series, Bitterroot, which is fucking amazing. Just a great book on Image Comics from David F. Walker, Chuck Brown, and Sanford Green. Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky, Marco Cicchetto, definitely earned that. My call, my personal choice, Department of Truth by James Tynion and Martin Simmons. I think that's the best book on shelves right now. Gideon Falls, though, by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. Up until it ended, it was what I considered to be the best comic book on shelves. So, man, that's a tough one. Stillwater by Zdarsky and Roman K. Perez. Great on Chip to get.
Yeah, I noticed that. Zdarsky got 2 nods. I noticed.
Yeah, he's not going to win this year.
In this category. He is not going to win, but it's really nice that he got nominated twice. He's not going to win, but
no, he won't win.
And then perennial nominee in this category, Usagi Yojimbo by Stan Sakai, a living legend, literally. Good on him, man. That's amazing. Best limited series, Barbalian Red Planet by Jeff Lemire.
That was pretty good.
Yep. Decorum by Jonathan Hickman and Mike Huddleston.
Also really good.
Probably my choice in this category. Far Sector, Strange Adventures.
Far Sector's pretty good.
Superman. Right. It was Superman's Pal Jimmy Olsen by Fraction, and We Live by Inaki Miranda and Roy Miranda on Aftershock. I have not read that.
I haven't read that one either.
Actually, that just recently was promoted.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Everything else on that list I've read though, and they're all great. I didn't read all of Strange Adventures. Obviously, it's not.
I didn't either.
I dropped it after like 2 issues.
Yeah, I did not like that one.
Taylor raves about it though, so maybe I should have kept with it.
I think I'm the only one on the panel here who has consistently been reading that, and I consistently do like it month after month. Yeah. So it looks like I am vindicated by the Eisner Award Committee here.
Right.
But anyway.
Best new series, Black Widow. Great choice. Crossover, Department of Truth, which again I think
definitely on both of those.
I think Department of Truth should win this, but it's going to be hard because I think it's going to win in that other category. You know what I mean? So there's not going to
win. If it wins in one category, it probably won't win in the other one.
Exactly. It's bound to win in Eisner. I'm just not sure which one. Philadelphia by Rodney Barnes and Dave's homeboy, Jason Sean Alexander.
He is tickled. He is very tickled
dude.
about that.
Dave actually dated Sean's or Jason's sister.
No.
In high school.
That's
the original.
That's the story you tell. Oh. That's not the story.
Yeah, he's from Portland though, or yes. Jason is. He's from Portland.
Jason's from Portland.
He's from like our stomping grounds, like our neck of the woods. And finally, in best new series, we only find them when they're dead. Al Ewing and Simone DeMeo. So I don't think that's going to win either, but
it's got some great art series. On that one.
Great art. It's a great series. Best writer, Ed Brubaker, Pulp Reckless. He did Friday on Panel Syndicate. Matt Fraction, who did Adventure Man and Criminals, or Sex Criminals, pardon me. Jonathan Hickman, Decorum, Giant Size X-Men, and X-Men. As good as Jonathan Hickman is as a writer, and as good as Decorum is, I don't think Giant Size X-Men and X-Men is good enough for him to deserve this award.
So the thing with Jonathan Hickman is he's an interesting writer in that he is a great writer when he wants to be. Like he does a good job of doing conversations and stuff like that. But he is more, his strength is in just world building.
Concepts,
he's just
world building.
So great at throwing out these big, high concepts, explaining them, just creating universes.
Yeah,
that's what he's great at.
It's an interesting thing to think about with X-Men here, where like his writing for the actual series itself, it's far from his best work, I would say, and it is kind of like all over the damn place because it's like a different thing every month. But if we're thinking of him, if he's getting the writer nod because of like his oversight of all the X-Men stuff going on, that's a horse of a different color. He is
there are no
unquestionably done
editor
an
awards.
amazing job there.
Where are like the editor awards, the show running quote unquote awards? Where are those? You know, it might be time, if as successful as Hickman, like Taylor said, has been in his role, when will this translate to there being other people put in positions where they are also in charge of franchises? You know what I mean? And in comics, that's what really builds things. Franchise.
Well,
it worked wonders with the MCU and Kevin Feige.
Hold on. Exactly, David. Exactly.
Well, it's definitely going that way with comics because you see over at DC now that they let Tinian have all control over Batman.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it is going to be more of a recurring thing. So they definitely should start giving up those awards for at least having some editor awards on there.
I would like to see the trend continue. Right now, there's not really anybody competing with Hickman in that regards, but hopefully in a few years we will have like, a viable 5-horse race. Or like the person who's like managing the campus or whatever.
Yeah. Are you telling me like Jeff Johns didn't have like complete control over everything that was going on in terms of Green Lantern?
When he was like the official creative director over DC for sure. But
yeah. I mean, that's what I mean though, but even more of a micromanaging, in terms of just a franchise.
I suppose, but that was 2 books, which I feel like is different from what Hickman's doing.
No, it was not. At one point it was
there was like Larfleeze had his own fucking book. The Red Lanterns had their own book. There was a Star Sapphire book.
There was not a Star Sapphire book. It was a Green Lantern Corps book.
No, there was Star Sapphire in something.
She was in Green Lantern Corps.
Oh, well. Anyway, there were a lot of. I would like to see that. I would like to see that again. Put somebody in charge of. Moving on. Still in Best Writer. Jeff Lemire from Barbalian, Black Hammer, Colonel Weird, The Question, the deaths of Vic Sage, which is a great Black Label read, man.
I got that issue and I never read it, and I don't think I ever picked up any of the other issues. Like I don't know, it just got lost in my pile somewhere. I need to go back and read it though. Like that's the great thing about these Eisner lists, right? It's like, oh, what a fool I was. I should go back and read that.
Yeah. The Colonel Weird book does a lot of world building with Colonel Weird. It's really awesome.
He also did Family Tree, which was an underrated hit, between last year and this year with the pandemic, and Gideon Falls, which again is one of my favorite reads of the decade probably so far. It's just fucking amazing. But here's your winner, James Tynion in the fourth. Something is Killing the Children. Wind over at Boom. Batman. Department of Truth. Razor Blades. He's got something else. What doesn't he have another thing at Boom besides Wind? Isn't he doing Something is Killing the Children?
I don't know if
he's doing Something is Killing the Children.
Who's the writer on Seven Secrets?
Tom Taylor.
Tom Taylor.
But yeah, this is definitely Tinian's year. He has just been killing it on everything he's been doing except for Batman.
Sure.
And Batman's not bad. It's just
Batman's not bad.
Mediocre,
it's just slow.
It's just slow as fuck. Is exactly.
Hello there. Hey, Uppies. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. We're talking about comic books. Finally, Chip Zdarsky for Stillwater, Daredevil, Fantastic Four, X-Men. That is a great pound for pound. Man, I've had so much fun with all 3 of those series, dude. Pound for pound. But Zdarsky again. I'm sorry, you don't.
His current run on he's on the current writer on Daredevil, right?
Yes,
that's been really good.
It has been. Okay. But David mentioned that's actually
that book got a nod a minute ago. We were talking about. Yeah.
David mentioned him, and it's actually in my notes. No Tom Taylor for Best Writer.
That's a
kinda
snub.
kicking the balls.
That is a snub.
That's a
Yeah.
snub. I think that's a snub. He's
I
just not
think-
doing
watch out.
enough. You have to be
That
doing
is the
like
problem.
5 fucking books in
Well,
order to be a best writer anymore.
it
It's
seems like he's
bullshit.
getting more books like right now, so maybe this time next year he will get his
Yeah.
nod. But
Well, he's getting a big shot here with the new Superman book. I think that's a big
So
step
too.
up.
He's already on
in profile.
Batman. He's doing a Batman book.
He is, but it's a Batman.
he's doing
mini.
a Batman book. It's the best Batman book going right now by a pretty
When he
wide
was
margin,
doing
but-
Spider-Man, his Spider-Man was the best Spider-Man going. He's doing Nightwing. It's the best Bat Family book right now.
I mean, yeah, they keep
Come
giving him like
on!
the quote unquote spin-off titles for like these big characters, and they're consistently the best things
Better.
going for those characters.
Yeah.
I think he'll definitely be on the list next year.
If he keeps up this sort of work, yeah, 100%. Now, best writer artist combo. Not a lot of big names here, but Jean Lun Yang did make it for Dragon Hoops on first, second Macmillan. Andrea Tomine, Craig Thompson, Trung-Lin Nguyen, Pascal Juzelin, and Juji Ito were on there. Now we're getting into the pencils. Best pencil inkler team: Michael Allred, Marco Cicchetto, Jorge Corona, Bertrand Gatignol, Mitch Gerards with Doc Shaner, and Sanford Green. So those are all big names on big books.
Chichetto on Daredevil.
Right.
It's
Chichetto's
great.
Best cover artist, Jamal Campbell, Simone DeMeo, Mike Huddleston, who I love, Dave Johnson, Peach Momoko, who I think should win it.
Peach Momoko and Simone DeMeo are the two.
Just two amazing artists. Ramon K. Perez.
That's a great one,
yeah, that's
too.
the last one there. So those are for best color. Man, Jamal Campbell, though, on those Power Rangers and Far Sector covers, dude.
Those Far Sector covers are beautiful.
I think that's the most competitive category so far.
Oh, definitely.
Cover
All
artist.
those names are just fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, Peach
and
Momoko
then-
deserves it just by volume. I don't know where she finds the damn time. I mean,
Right?
she's cranking out like several a week, you know?
It's amazing, dude. Maybe she's just really good with her style. You know, there's some artists who are just really quick, you know. And best coloring, another snub coming up here. Laura Allred for X-Ray Robot and Bowie. Jean-Francois Bouillet for Middle West, which was a great book. A.K.A. David and I know was all over Middle West. Remember that?
Yep.
It was like Scotty Young was doing it with Jorge Corona, and it was a Wizard of Oz, like a sort of take on Wizard
Kind of
of
a
Oz.
reverse Wizard of Oz where Oz came to Kansas.
Yeah, it was cool. Geepy is an artist who I'm not sure. Marte Gracia on Empire and Ten of Swords. Dave Stewart for Promethea, 1313, Black Hammer, Gideon Falls, Spider-Man. And also Matt Wilson for Undiscovered Country and Firepower, as well as Thor.
Firepower.
Where the
that it?
fuck, Jordy
No,
Belair?
yeah, no Jordy Belair.
What the fuck? Biggest snub of the awards. I mean,
She should be on there just by quantity.
I mean, we
How
talk
the
about it every
fuck-
time a Black Widow book comes out. That
I
like,
know.
I remember reading through that. I remember skipping down to the colorist section to see if the Jordy would be on there, but no. And I was like, what?
Fucking
You know?
shocked, dude. What a snub. But maybe she's just one out of that. I mean, how many Eisners has she won for coloring? I'm sure it's more than one. Maybe they're just like, no, Jordy, you can't win another one.
That's usually not how award shows operate.
I
They usually
know.
have no problem just
Yeah.
making the rich richer when it comes to
I'm
award accumulation, you know?
I'm sure there was like a running joke where like Bendis was nominated like 5 years in a row and didn't win, and then finally did. I think he won on for a Powers, issue that he did or something. Anyway, there is also lettering. Michael Allred, Darren Bennett. Man, there's so many. Anita Bidikar, Clayton Cowles, who we always see. He does so many books. Stan Sakai getting 2 noms. Russ Wooten as well got a shout out there for lettering. But overall, pretty good. Great books. Overall great books. But man, it's hard to not see those snubs and
Well,
get pissed a little bit, man.
There's
Get upset.
always going to be snubs, whenever there's an award anything, But still,
You're right.
there are some of these that sting for sure.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, moving on. We'll talk more about that when the winners are revealed. We'll talk about the Eisners. So let's do Hellfire Gala. Man, it's a weird week for Hellfire Gala, but I had a great time. Holy shit. Great time. Man, it's classy as fuck, ain't it?
It really makes the show feel more highbrow, the music there.
Oh, it's something got to help. Here's our reading order. We got Excalibur number 21, X-Men number 21, and then for some reason Children of the Atom number 4, which is
Children of the Atom had basically nothing to do with the Hellfire Gala.
What a fucking big stinker.
They
talked about it. That's it.
That's basically all
fine.
they do. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, the Hellfire Gala is going on over there.
Yeah.
We don't get invited.
Not a bad issue of Children of the Atom, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same issue I've read of Children of the Atom.
Well, no, finally
If you're looking-
Cradle showed up. Let's talk about Children of the Atom first then. Cradle showed up.
Sure, yeah.
After it was cool because it was like an internet thing. Like they scoped him out on the internet and we're like, oh, who's these guys? And oh man, I kind of like that a lot because I really enjoyed the whole Kamala's Law thing that they were doing in Champions. I had a great time with that arc. It's still kind of going on, in the pages of Champions. Cradle is still a thing, but it's really cool that they showed up here to take on Children of the Atom. By Vida Ayala and Paco Medina, by the way.
It was still a decent issue. It's still doing this thing where it's every issue is a different POV from a different point of view of one of the new members of the team.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still really slow for me.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite X book for sure.
I like it. It's good, I think. But
I want to like this team, but something needs to happen.
They are overdue for us to progress these guys' lot in life here. I get wanting to go between each of the different perspectives, although I'm not looking forward to the next issue because the annoying kid gets to have his perspective then, I guess.
Oh gosh, yes he is.
Yeah. But Adam's right that they have been teasing us along as to what is even going on in this book. How do these kids have their powers? Apparently, they just found a bunch of alien weaponry. Yeah, kind of. Apparently, it's just a bunch of alien weaponry that they are appropriating to make a facsimile. Yeah, of the X-Men powers.
Yeah.
They found a teleporter and they found a ray gun and shit like that, and they're using that to do a mock-up of the X-Men's powers.
I do like this guy's pheromone powers that he has, where he just makes people sniff stuff to do whatever he wants.
Yeah. In the last issue, this dude, he actually is a mutant, and I guess the mutants here, or these guys, this group, the Children of the Atom, this team, they are known fanatics throughout school as, X-Men, big X-Men fans or whatever. So when they went to his house to sort of, they went there with ulterior motives, not to just hang out with him. But he called them out for cultural appropriation. Is that not what happened?
That's not what he did. No, he didn't call them out for cultural appropriation. He called
them out for being there on the ulterior motives.
Yes, that's what he was.
Which was cultural appropriation. That was their motive.
Yes, but that's not what he was mad about. He was mad about them, hey, you guys are only interested in me because you're fucking mutant groupies. I don't think he cared about the social ramifications of cultural appropriation at all.
But in terms of us, the reader, is that what we are supposed to be picking up from this book?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is it fandom? Is it sort of a microcosm of fandom in a weird way? I don't know, man.
Like I said, I like the ideas that they're throwing around here, but it is time to bring that to a head,
Yes. Yeah, I agree. But overall, still a cool issue. Action-packed. Yeah. I love the Cradle stuff. But getting into the meat of it, Excalibur number 21, probably my favorite of these variants, these connecting variants. Betsy is gorgeous. Her costume is beautiful. I love it. This was by Teenie Howard and Marcus Toe. It digs into the relationships quite a bit in terms of Betsy and Pete. At one point, that was cool. Yeah, Richter and Shatterstar, which I love.
I'm glad Shatterstar
Brian and
is
Pixie
out of the Mojo.
Her name's not Pixie. Megan. Her name's Megan. She's like an elf, though, pixie or something. Dug into their shit a little bit, and then it got Kurt, Nightcrawler, when they had a thing, and I had forgotten all about that, how he had a thing with Megan, back in the day in a different book. But
Yeah, they're both elves.
yeah, right. So by the end of it, Richter separates the lighthouse from the mainland. Pete Wisdom gets murdered by this cult.
Well, they separate the lighthouse from the mainland because
The British have decided to cancel their alliance with Krakoa.
Yes, the British dissolved their alliance along with a couple of other countries.
Yeah.
So yeah, things are not looking great diplomatically for Krakoa right now.
It feels like this is all part of some big
we still
plan.
had that tease at the end of Marauders where like there was some big game-changing thing that we still have not seen.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job in all of these issues to timestamp everything. So you can follow the course of what's happening when, which I love, man. It's like we're bouncing, back and forth to see different things as they go on. And you really get a lot more out of it on the second read. Like I went back and read last week's books for the gala, and you do get a lot more if you match up timestamps and actually see what's going on, man. It's dig into it a little bit. But Pete Wisdom, he'll come back though. He's a mutant. He's allowed.
Oh yeah, he gets totally gets sacrificed here, which is awesome.
And then Morgan Le Fay comes back.
No consequence for mutants right now. So
Not anymore.
But then Morgan Le Fay comes back, which is a huge deal for the Excalibur.
That is a
books.
huge deal.
Especially in the context of Britain saying, no, we don't need Captain Britain anymore. We have Morgan Le Fay back. Because, the captain is a mutant now, and they don't like that. It's they're racist. So here's where Richter makes the island, which they're calling Braddock Isle now, which I fucking love. That's cool. And then Shatterstar and Richter, which goes way back to Peter David's X Factor run. Which
and like I said, I'm just glad the Shatterstar is out of Mojoverse now.
No,
I like Mojoverse, but you're right. We spent way too much time there in what book is it? X Factor.
X Factor.
Yeah, we spent way too much time there.
Now I have a question.
Yes.
Is Morgan Le Fay a mutant?
No.
She used
just a magic-y.
How did she use the gate?
She's magic-y. And I don't think that's the gate. That's not the Krakoan gate. That's the lighthouse gate. Which I think is different.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was a Krakoan gate. I don't follow the X-Men series, so I don't.
Morgan Le Fay is a powerful ass sorcerer who doesn't need a damn gate to go between dimensions anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But I think what she was using was the Otherworld gate at the lighthouse that goes.
Okay,
between
that was
Britain
the
and
Otherworld gate
Otherworld.
that Captain Britain referred to when they were arguing about the British dissolving the alliance. Okay.
Yeah, because Otherworld is technically mutant territory. At least part of it, because there you have to be able to walk through, and Avalon is mutant controlled. The King of Avalon is Monarch, who is, a mutant. And there are places in Otherworld that you can only get through by traveling, through those gates. And part of that is Araco or whatever, so it's all very complicated.
It is.
And if you're not following X-Men, it's super complicated.
Right. X-Men number 21, the final issue in Hickman's run.
Is this the final one?
This is his final issue.
Okay,
of X-Men,
so let me get into this. So this is the prime example of why Hickman A would be on that Eisner list for best writers, and B why he should not win.
Yeah.
For being on that Eisner for best writer, because Hickman, he has an affinity for writing Namor. This beginning Namor scene is some of the best Hickman writing you will read anywhere. It's so juicy. It's Namor speaking with Professor X and Magneto.
Magneto dressed to the nines, baby.
Yeah, he
is. Top hat.
Yeah, he is. They're feeling each other out, trying to see if Namor will align with the rest of the
They
mutants.
offer him a seat on the council.
They do.
Yeah.
Namor is a mutant. That's easy to forget, but he is, in fact, the quote-unquote first mutant in Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hickman just knows how to make Namor just the schmarmiest asshole in the room.
He is such a piece of shit.
He earns it. He's the king of 3/4 of Earth. I mean, he does. He even says it on here. Yeah, I'm king of 3/4 of the Earth. Enjoy your island. Your little bitty island. He's supposed to be that badass because his station in life demands that he have that that confidence, that attitude. I know Namor is an easy punching bag. He's easy to hate, but I think that's what makes him such a compelling character. Doom, it's like you love to hate him. Namor is you hate. No, Doom, you hate to hate him. Namor, you love to hate him. And it's beautifully written. You know, he's such a great character. I love when he goes over here and hangs out with his other buddies. He's like, fuck you guys.
Yep.
Even though he's banged like all of these guys' wives at one point or another.
Well, he's showing that he is leaving.
He literally
his
hasn't
open.
banged any of their wives.
He banged Sue Storm for sure.
He's
He did
tried
not.
to.
He's tried.
No one else is married.
His
may
relationship
have had a
with
thing
Sue
with Storm.
Storm is
He
a
may have had a
long
thing with Storm.
Gomer. His relationship with Sue Storm is a decades-long, pathetic, unrequited love that he has for her. He has never gotten anywhere with her.
I think at one point
He
it
was
happened.
friend zoned.
In the Ultimate Universe, they made out. In the 616, it's honestly kind of pitiful how he has never gotten anywhere with her this entire fucking time.
You're not wrong.
But okay, so going on to this though.
Well,
this
while
is,
Namor
this-
comes off as a badass, right? I can't help but think that Xavier and Magneto have already planned for his downfall in the context of everything. They've got
definitely they have
Well,
they have precogs on their side. They have also the advantage of having done this like 10 realities before
right.
already.
Right.
So they kind of know what Namor's play is going to be.
So they do announce the team.
Yep.
Which was anticlimactic because we already knew who the team was. It was painted very well. A lot of artists on this: Lucas Wernick, Nick Dragato, Russell Dodderman, and Sarah Pichelli.
They did a good job of segmenting all the artists in this.
Yes, yeah. My favorite part of the whole, election process was the literal election process. How they use psychics.
It was a neat way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Over and over again, we talk about how it's a neat the way that they kind of think about how this would work in a mutant society. And like, how do elections happen in a place where we have all these telepaths? And yeah, it was really neat to see that process play out, where like it just kind of the people who genuinely want it and deserve it the most, who kind of like push aside the weaker or less noble mindsets, just kind of naturally went out at the end, and that was pretty cool.
They basically had what amounts to a 10-year-long Continental Congress in the matter of like 15 seconds via Jean Grey's telepathy. And oh man, and not just the fact that they did it, the fact of Hickman describing it so fluidly and perfectly in such a short space. You know what I mean? He was able to convey this very complex process very easily, and I really like that. Even though we knew who was going to be on the team,
right?
And then
imagine how much cooler this would have been if we didn't, though.
Oh yeah, dude,
yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
Yes,
I really wish this had been the reveal.
That has really been the story for the Hellfire Gala, is how much Marvel has kind of just ruined this entire story by its marketing.
By giving us the surprises. I'm still thinking, man, maybe there's something
Magneto
else.
I'm sure there is still something else in Planet.
Exactly. There's been a
Planet
murder.
Size.
There's been an election. Both spoiled. Planet Size. There's still a reveal left to come. Marauders teased it. Marauders 21 teased it.
But it still would have been so much more fun to just read these things happen instead of seeing it in a press release.
Yeah.
We have the celebrities.
Celebrities were fun, except for
Patton Oswalt right here in the front.
Yeah.
Cool. J.R.R. Martin over here.
The one part of this issue,
writing his damn book, not going
He's
to
not
fucking
shit.
parties.
No. Finish
Eminem's over here, and a bunch of other ones.
he's making video games now too.
Yeah, but the big Elden Ring. Holy
damn it,
shit!
George
That game
R.R.
looks dope. That game looks so mounted combat in a video game that actually works. Man, I'm stoked. But yes, go ahead, Adam. The biggest reveal.
I just hated this entire scene. It's not that Kevin Feige showed up in this. I don't really care about that.
Yeah,
but,
it's cute, whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever. But Cyclops' whole speech to him was hokey as shit. And I know that's Cyclops' brand. Like, he is the hokey X-Man.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh,
it was But does it work as a sort of the jewel of Jonathan Hickman's run, the final cut of his
And-
run on X-Men. Doesn't that speech kind of work?
And
I
that,
don't know.
children, is how the X-Men came to the MCU.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Basically, that's
I
what
didn't
In the
like
Heights
it.
is
It was
How I Met
it's
Your
just
Mother.
too on the nose. It was too.
It was.
It was too. This is my thesis for X-Men.
Yeah, dude. I didn't like it either. Although this was my favorite issue of the week. I loved it. It was dope. It was great.
But
So
it was
yeah,
just that one scene. Everything else was
Yeah.
pretty damn good in this.
yeah, X-Men was great. But even while he was doing like that shitty dialogue, that corny, monologue or whatever to Feige,
Other cool stuff was happening.
yeah, they were going through all these other panels showing everything else going on, and that was rad, dude. That was really cool. I had a great time with that. That's it for this week. Next week, in order, Planet Size X-Men, New Mutants 19, and X-Corp number 2. Looks good. Planet Size X-Men is supposed to be the big one, the main thing, where we find out exactly what the mutants are doing, what the big reveal was during Marauders. And I have a big feeling it's going to involve all the space shit they've been doing on Sword, because why else would Sword also be highlighted in red in the reading order list?
Yeah, in one of the earlier books, I think it might have been X-Force, they did show that they were bringing in a bunch of them crystals for the gala,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think those crystals were like the crystals that they
Well, there's
used
one
for
from the Shi'ar, but I
storage.
thought that there was
They
something
may
like
have.
whatever the Sword was doing. I thought that was involved too, but maybe I'm
They
just
may
missing it.
have. I do know they brought in like the Shi'ar crystals, the memory crystals or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, New Mutants number 19, who I don't think they were invited to the show either. And then X-Corp number 2. So we'll see. We'll see how those go. Planet Size is definitely something I'm looking forward to, man. Cannot.
They've been hyping it up. They're saying that like this is going to be a big game changer. That's what
Yes,
the
they're
ad
saying
that they
it's gonna
plaster in all the books has been saying.
Yeah, they're saying it's going to be a huge, huge deal. All right, let's get into Heroes Reborn. We'll have more on Hellfire Gala next week. I don't think this is going to take too long. Heroes Reborn number 6, Aaron, Eric DeUrso, Ed McGuinness, of course. I think all the members of the Squadron Supreme, I think they all seem to represent some negative aspect of America.
Yeah.
I think that's what Jason Aaron's big deal is here. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's what the book is actually about. Like, there's the whole thing where it's like it's the nod to DC, and of course superheroes, obviously.
Sure.
But yeah, the point it's trying to make is about American society. What do we think Power Princess here is? Is she war? Is she just violence?
Yeah, never ending war, the military industrial complex.
Us looking for enemies everywhere.
Exactly.
We yeah,
that's how never ending war would work. Yeah, this was dope because she killed Null. She has like Null petrified, which I loved that. Very,
well, once again, they have ridiculous feats to their name here.
Yes,
like
it's
apparently
insane.
Power Princess soloed
do.
fucking Null here.
It's insane.
She soloed
dude.
Null. She soloed Gore. She did.
Oh yeah, she soloed
all
Gore. Well, not soloed. It was her and her
other two.
With Thor in the God Butcher story.
Yeah.
But
I love this.
Which incidentally is my favorite panel in this issue. I love that Hercules' response to seeing Thor is back is just to laugh his ass off.
Yeah, it's just like, you're done. You're done.
I love that.
Very cool shot of Thor here when they come back. They had this great discussion.
I like his pizza shirt.
His pizza shirt.
Drunk Thor's kind of fun, I
love Drunk Thor, dude. That was actually the name of this issue, Drunk History.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because basically Odin's son was just hammered the whole time that all of this other important shit was going on. She punches the shit out of him, but all that really does
his beard off.
Yeah, punches his beard off, and
but
really
here's
all
her
that.
solo. Here's her beating Gore, the fucking Dark Phoenix.
Yeah,
I actually really liked Zarda. I think that's her name. Zarda's
I think so, yeah.
inner monologue in this. I thought it was kind of funny. I don't know. The way she was actively going and looking for fights from everybody.
the way she was almost addicted to it.
Almost.
To war,
Yeah,
dude.
she gets bored easily, so she wants to start a mega event.
That's also an interesting, like, kind of perversion of Wonder Woman as a character because she's
It is.
so reticent to go to fight. You know, she is supposed to be an ambassador to peace, and Zarda is the exact fucking opposite of that.
Yeah. We also get her saying, "Who the hell are the Avengers?" with the team, leading into, you know, the next issue where everything's going to come to a head, and then we get this aftermath where Thor realizes he's just been drinking his life away for all the, you know, all eternity. A great scene in there, which I should have grabbed the page for that, where the God bomb goes off and Thor's like, "Oh no!" Like he doesn't actually have any fucking clue what's going on. It just hurts really bad.
It's just this guy's passed out on the floor.
And
Yeah.
everybody just thinks it's a homeless guy just dying.
Yeah. I mean, anytime Jason Aaron gets to bring Thor into it, it is a chance for him to like relive his greatest hits from like the Thor run that he had.
Definitely.
So there's a lot of that in the like epilogue part of this here. Yeah.
Yeah, the ongoing backup story that's been in this, they've all been great. It's coming to a head. So yeah, I think this one finally defined for me exactly what Jason Aaron is trying to do with all of these. I'm going to go back and reread all of them with that sort of, you know, at the front of my mind when I'm reading it.
I feel like I've been saying this to you for weeks now.
No, I think you have, but I think there has been some questions, you know, that we weren't exactly sure, you know, what was going on. But now that I think we have it pretty much nailed down, this one was almost blatant. You know, with the military industrial
well, all of them have been blatant, and I think
I still maintain that the most on the nose was the Dr. Spectrum one, where he was just foolishly racist,
dude. Unabashedly, just in your face racist, but with aliens, so it was okay for some reason. Let's get into the tie-ins. Heroes Reborn.
It wasn't telling you to be racist.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, we're supposed to think Dr. Spectrum's an asshole. You know?
Exactly. Fareed Karami on the art. It's an okay story. Some good art that shined in places like this. This shined. This was a great.
I loved it. Yeah, this was a great spread.
This was a really fun issue.
Kind of reminds me of that one from Batwoman a few years ago. The
yes.
J.H. Williamson one.
Well, she's Batgirl, but also Batwoman. She's kind of like both characters because in this, Misty Knight has taken on the Renee Montoya persona from DC Comics, and her and Batwoman had a romantic relationship, which they're pushing through this, which was my favorite part of the issue. But overall, it was just kind of me.
I will point out,
I thought it was fun, but you know, it is kind of. I mean, the problem with all of these issues is it's not going to go anywhere, and it doesn't lead to anything. So it's hard to really get excited about it. But I still thought it was fun for what it was. The art, the art was great. It really popped. I really dug the whole Jackal stuff that was going on.
Oh yeah,
gnarly with Flash.
That was unexpected.
Great, dude. It was so good. Didn't they do a story like that where Batwoman was going up against somebody who was pretending to be somebody else? Didn't they do a Batwoman story?
I don't recall.
I remember people were like comparing it to Hush.
Maybe.
In a way. I don't know. Anyway, finally, for Heroes Reborn this week, my favorite of the week, Squadron Savage.
This is a great book, too.
A direct takeoff of Suicide Squad from Ethan Sachs and Luca Pizzari. It sort of had a Bloodshot movie angle to it.
A little bit, and it's weird. It kind of stole the plot of Bloodshot.
Yeah, where they're not putting bombs in to coerce this team like they do in Suicide Squad. They're actually reprogramming their brains so that they think, just like in the Bloodshot movie, they think that they're actually going out and getting revenge on the people who have done them wrong. And they do it to cloak by having him think that Dagger is dead, but Dagger is actually alive, and they're hunting her, which was great. They do it to Frank Castle, who's in this. Great Elektra moment here. Classic sort of Elektra moment where she's killing Frank after he figures it out.
That is kind of fun that it's the bullseye pose when he kills her, obviously. So, yeah.
Also, Kang shows up because, of course, why wouldn't he?
Right.
He's fucking Kang. But then they get over on Kang because they have a Winter Soldier.
Man, Winter Soldier is literally only on 2 pages of this, this book, but it's great. They use him just the right amount, you know?
Yeah, just the right amount. But then, where is it? Here it is. But then having Wilson Fisk,
As
who
the
is
Amanda
Defense,
Waller.
Secretary of Defense, Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin as a stand-in for Waller in this. That was
great.
perfect,
Because
dude.
that's what he is
Fucking
already
perfect.
with the
Yeah.
Thunderbolts.
It's kind of a
Yeah.
creepy idea too that like anyone that they take alive in these missions just becomes the new squadron members, you know?
I
Yep.
mean, that's kind of what they do in Suicide Squad to some extent, you know, but it worked for me. Did anyone get like a Harley Quinn feel from the Night Gwen book as well?
Some
She's like-
elements where she's
Not
working as
really.
a psychiatrist.
She's like a psychiatrist doing her thing.
That
But she's
I
not
didn't
fucking
really-
any of the patients, so I feel like that
No,
kind of rules her out from the Harley Quinn angle.
But technically, she was fucking one of the patients previously, Flash.
I don't think they were ever together. I think he was just
Oh,
obsessed
because
with
that
her.
was his problem. He was a fuckboy.
Yeah.
He got friend zoned. He was pissed off about it. Okay, yeah.
I did
all this for you.
I did all this for you. All I wanted to get was some play. Yeah.
Yeah.
caught the jackal and I skinned him alive, and now
Yeah,
I'm wearing his skin all
So
for you.
stupid.
Both of these
Gwen.
issues were pretty fun as like standalone, like you know, hey, here's
Yeah.
a fun like reinterpretation of a DC thing, and like, you know, here's characters put into new situations. These had like nothing to do with like the main book this week. So.
Yeah, I
No.
will say these. What I liked about previous weeks is that you could see events that were happening in the main book happening in these other books.
Sure.
And this week, that didn't happen at all.
We got more
None
like
of these
flashbacks.
tied into
Yeah.
Power Princess at all.
You could have put these into any of the other weeks, and it wouldn't have really changed anything about reading them. You know, they're
Still
just kind
okay.
of randomly placed.
Still okay.
I still enjoyed them for what they were, but like
too.
my favorites were still the tie-ins from the Hyperion week because
The Peter
those
Parker book.
changed. Yeah, and even the Imperial
It changed the
Guard.
context of scenes.
Yeah, it did, and that's like the ideal thing you should want from a tie-in.
Yeah. Especially in one like this where it's twisting the universe, you know, so much.
Yeah.
It's playing with those sort of tropes, you know, where not really a narrator, an unreliable narrator, not quite, but kind of like the world building is unreliable. I don't know. Aaron was genius in that first one, you're right, but I still like those, so they were good. We're wrapping up here pretty quick. Heroes Reborn number 7 is the last issue before we get Heroes Return number 1, which is the one shot to capstone the whole thing. In this one, it looks like they're going to actually meet, at least spinning out of the last one, the Power Princess book. They're going to hang out with the Avengers and do some ass whipping. And then we're getting this Weapon X and Final Flight from Ed Bryson and Roland Bashi.
I like Ed Bryson.
Yeah, Aaron Cooter's doing the art on the Heroes Reborn number 7. They're both $5 and both drop next week. I am very excited.
Weren't we supposed to get a Dr. Juggernaut book at some point? I don't think that ever happened, did it?
No,
don't think so.
We weren't supposed to get a book. He was just part of the promotion for it as one of the characters, you know. All right, finally in news. Holy crap, it's been a lot. Loki. We're going to talk Loki for a little while. This first episode, honestly, a bit slower than I expected it to
They had to do a lot of universe building in
They had to do a
they
lot
had
of
to-
explaining.
They had to explain the bureaucracy that is the TVA,
yeah.
which I think is funny. I don't know how Marvel got licensed to use that. I'm pretty sure that's used by something else.
That's
Well, there's the
definitely
Tennessee
used by
Valley
something
Authority,
else.
but
Yeah.
I don't think the government is going to, sue
Sue Marvel.
over that.
But yeah, it was a
Maybe.
lot of world building. It was a lot of establishing. They had to do a lot of interesting things with telling you about the timeline, about the multiverse.
Yeah. Not only that, they also had to sort of age Loki. They had to do some things with the character to sort of push him, at least emotionally, to the point where he was at the end of Ragnarok before Thanos murdered him.
Because this is not the same.
This is scumbag Loki.
Well,
You
this
can't
is
work
not the
with
same
scumbag
Loki that we know. This is an alternate universe Loki.
By the end of the first episode, we realized we already have scumbag Loki. He's the bad guy who
We're
Loki's
getting
going to
into
be
some
hunting down
real.
through time.
We're getting into some real Rick and Morty shit. Now
Right?
with-
Dude,
We're
that's
probably-
in my notes. That's literally in my notes. That's some
We
Rick
got
and
the
Morty
Council
shit.
of Lokis.
Yeah, right. Dude, they should do a Council of Lokis. That would be fucking rad.
We're
man.
gonna get Pickle Loki.
Yeah. But this is the image that's really getting everybody, Let's do Get Help. Sad. But
Do
it
you
shows
think-
I saw
off.
somebody
Loki
point
had
out that
one
like
good cry, so now he's a good guy.
Yeah, right.
I saw somebody point out that like the through line between all the Disney Plus shows so far has been these characters getting therapy of some sort.
Right?
And
For
Loki
real.
got
Sure.
like his on the fucking express train there at the end of this episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We learn a lot. We learn about these timekeepers, who are these three multiversal beings who wiped away the multiverse. Okay, there's something there, because in Marvel Comics, okay, many times when you create a new timeline, what you've actually created is a new universe in the multiverse. Age of Apocalypse, was just a different time.
A pocket universe.
Yeah,
But no,
Legion.
it's its own universe.
In the 616, Legion went back in time and accidentally killed his father, and it created an entirely new timeline and an entirely new universe that they still harken back to a lot. Yeah.
How can Cable and Bishop both be from the future and they haven't met each other before they travel in the past? Because there's different universes.
Futures.
Yeah. So, did Hickman's Secret Wars already happen? Is that what they're gearing up to? Because we know that a multiverse is going to exist. Spider-Man is hinting at it. Doctor Strange literally says it in the title.
It's in the title, yeah.
It really does sound like they already had a Crisis of Infinite Earths, which is really weird. It's really weird that they're taking a lot of DC ideas for their Marvel stuff right now, because all of this, like contracting the multiverse into one, and then expanding it out again.
DC.
That's all
DC
DC.
trope,
That's
man.
DC through and through.
Yeah.
It's just really weird.
But that's what happened during Hickman's Secret Wars as well.
Yeah.
If different timelines are simply other realities in another universe in the multiverse, that's exactly what happened during Hickman's Secret Wars. Everybody got together and was fighting, basically.
I want to know why it's okay.
With a hint of Crisis.
I want to know why it's okay for the Avengers to time travel, but it's not okay for Loki to time travel.
Apparently, time traveling isn't the problem. Apparently, it's the sequence of events that has to be.
But they still created new universes when they did that.
No.
Supposedly, the whole point of Cap going back and putting the stones back was that they didn't. I don't fucking know, man.
See, that's my beef. The only motherfucker who actually broke any time travel rules was Steve Rogers by traveling back at the end of Endgame to hang out with his old lady. I can't blame him. If that was my old lady, I would go back in time to hang out with her. Timeline be damned.
Yeah, but Jean-Claude Van Damme should be showing up at his door.
That's time cop.
But one of the things that they were just kind of making a suggestion in the Loki series is that there's no free will. Free will is predetermined.
That's fucked up. That is really fucked up.
So there's a lot of angles to go ahead.
Loki took advantage of a variance in the timeline to use the Tesseract to link himself out.
Yes.
And they're saying that
was the problem.
They're saying that because he chose to do that, he created a variant of himself.
Yes. Exactly.
But it says that everything is
a variant out of himself.
But what he did was he used free will to get himself out of a situation, but that goes against what the timekeepers have predetermined.
Right. I think that is going to be an overarching theme.
I mean, Loki himself already said as much in this episode, that like, hey, this is bullshit. I just, why do I have to listen to what the space lizards say,
Yeah, exactly. I have a picture of the space lizards. There they are. Beautiful.
But there's a lot of different.
Go ahead, Taylor. We'll get to that.
Okay, sorry. I was just going to say real quick. There's lots of different things to pick apart from this episode. All this like background noise stuff about like the TVA and like the whims of the time lizards and everything like that. That's all interesting. But I really enjoyed this episode just as like an examination of Loki himself.
Sure.
This is a character who has never had his own movie, but who has been a very persistent character throughout a lot of these movies. Yeah, they've done that. That's what all the Disney Plus shows have been so far. Characters who have not had their own leading roles, but who have been, very prominently placed in a lot of key moments. And it's been a good deconstruction of them and their like psychology and stuff like that. And we have that here too. I really love his him and Owen Wilson had a great dynamic. I want to point out real quick.
They played off each other very well.
Beautiful chemistry,
yeah.
dude.
Like, I think that it's a really clever thing they've done where they've put Loki in a bureaucracy and up against Mobius, because these are things that are completely immune to his normal mode of operation.
It's dropping chaos into order.
Yeah,
that's what bureaucracy is.
These bureaucrats do not give a shit about Loki's fast talking about his charm. Mobius is condescending to Loki this entire episode. Yeah. You can tell that he kind of he does actually care and he wants to help the guy to an extent, but he's all like, "Oh wow, that's neat, buddy." Every time Loki tries to pull some verbal shenanigans on him. Yeah. And I really love the situation they put Loki into. But anyway, so these guys have the motherfucking Infinity Gauntlet 5 times over.
Yeah, they just happen to collect these things because obviously when you're really powerful and have powerful objects, you tend to fuck up the free will of the universe in terms of what the TVA thinks. So while Thanos may have been a badass, Casey, this bureaucratic administrative assistant nerd, office nerd, yeah, he's just using the stones as paperweights. This is actually a pretty damn cool scene, too, because there's a lot of little Easter eggs here. There's a picture. Who's on that picture? This right here, just above the right-hand corner of the white box with all the stems in it, it looks like the damn Spear of Destiny. This medal here in the lower left corner of the box, that's the Medal of Honor of France, their equivalent. So I don't know if these are hints as to what's going to happen next, or if these are Easter eggs from the Marvel Universe. I don't remember the Spear of Destiny ever being a thing in the Marvel Universe outside of a blade maybe or something like that.
I think that's more of a DC thing that they use.
Yeah, it is.
That's more of a DC thing.
Definitely more of a DC thing. Or are they going to get to this at some point? What's all in there? So,
I do have a question.
Yes.
Do you think this variant Loki that they brought the Loki we know to track in? Do you think this could potentially be the Lady Loki?
It's possible. I don't know how they would actually work that into a story.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
They did confirm on this application that Loki is gender fluid, which I love because that's not only from Marvel continuity in the comics, but also from freaking Norse mythology. All these guys were banging whatever the hell they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, Loki got fucked by a horse and gave birth to a bunch of monsters in the actual Norse mythology.
Yeah. My guess is that this Loki who becomes, a thorn in the side of the TVA is this Loki. And the evil Loki is created by the TVA by bringing Loki into the mix. Because that's how time travel series work,
I'm sure there's going to be all sorts of fucked up,
always circular.
Circular paradox.
The inverse cause and effect crap that they like to do with these time travel.
When they had that animated sequence with Miss Minutes, it showed the guy who took the variant timeline. They showed that the appearances have changed. There was even little silhouetted figures that had different shaped heads and stuff.
Yeah. I really love that sequence. Anytime an old-timey sequence like I'm a sucker for.
That was a clever way to get the audience up to speed about how this organization is supposed to work. And I do like that they introduced it as a little dumbed down clip that these guys would show to people because they are sick of explaining this shit, so they just show them this video.
It's also a nice nod to Disney because it was in that very old 60s Disney style.
It was 100%. So great episode. Again, a little heavy on the telling us what the fuck's going on because we needed to know
it's the first episode
going on.
They got to do some groundwork, and there was enough chemistry and fun things going on that it's fine, and I'm definitely excited for the next episode.
Me too. I think the next episode it's really going to get into a lot of the adventures. We already saw the DB Cooper adventure, which was great, fucking fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, man,
I love that. Yeah, the whole one of the most perplexing mysteries from the real world was just Loki lost a bet to Thor.
Yeah, just having fun. All right, so let's move on. Food news.
Yummy. Hearts, stars and horseshoes, clovers and blue moons, unicorns, rainbows and tasty red balloons.
Man, I
That's
hope we don't
me
get
Lucky
taken out.
Charms.
I hope we won't.
They're mischievously delicious.
So yeah, they're doing Loki Charms. They already sold out.
That's like a T-shirt from like 10 years ago.
It does feel like one of those like T-shirt of the day.
Yeah, the shirt punch
Yeah.
T-shirts.
Yeah, but it
That's one
works.
of it's a fun tie-in. It does work in a lot of ways. Yeah.
I love it. It works so well. I wanted some. They sold out before I even had a chance to get my hands on them. But
What a shame.
maybe they'll come back. Maybe they'll do some other ones. All right, let's do a moment of destruction. Man, super long this week because there was
Dude, we actually got a good Transformers book.
we did. But first, Kingdom Trilogy, the third and final reveal, July 29th.
These have been good. And they're bringing in Transformers characters. I don't know how this is going to be the final one. It seems like there's a lot of
Seems like there's a lot
ground
of
to
space
cover.
talk about.
yeah.
So, yeah, that'll happen. We'll have more on that when it actually happens. But, yes, Transformers Annual 2021, Brian Ruckley, Alex Milne, favorite around here.
Man, it is so great to see Alex Milne
It's
back
such
doing
good art.
Transformers stuff.
Yeah. This is Technobots in space. I liked it quite a bit. I like the take on the Technobots it being like this think tank out in space solving problems.
Mm-hmm.
The hexagon base where Vigilum is connected. I love that. I loved how everything sort of transpired.
Yeah, it still does the Brian Ruckley thing where he'll introduce a couple of brand new, super cool looking areas, but he won't really explain anything about them or anything.
Yeah.
But you know that they're going to be big and they're important. They're going to come back later and probably get blown up at some point.
Some popular seekers showing up. These are known as the second.
Oh yeah,
wave
the second
seekers.
wave, Ramjet, and all of
The
them.
Coneheads.
Yeah, Coneheads.
Love the
Yeah, second
Coneheads.
wave Coneheads.
Is that Bludgeon?
Yeah,
It is
that's
Bludgeon.
Yeah.
So they go to this station because they're looking for Vigilum, and Vigilum is at the station, and Thunderwing is the commander of the station. Bludgeon's also there with Ramjet. Basically they get just betrayed by Thunderwing because Thunderwing is a dick.
Yeah. And that's it. Vigilum breaks away. The Technobots get sucked into this pit that Black Arachnia has been building technology in.
They're trying to create an artificial enigma of combination, which is
it works.
Yeah, which is the
The thing that makes
Transformers MacGuffin. Yeah, it's the Transformers MacGuffin that turns them into combiners.
Yeah. And it works.
Yep.
There's
get-
Computron hanging
Get Computron,
out.
who's your favorite?
My favorite. I've got the G1. I don't even remember where he is. He's over here somewhere.
Yep. And then you got a nice Titan fight in this.
Yeah, I got a really nice Titan fight with Vigilum and what's his name? Lodestar.
Lodestar, yeah.
And Lodestar fighting it out. A couple pages of that, and then this is the aftermath of that with the Technobots hanging out, getting picked up by Lodestar, who is the last Titan.
Mm-hmm.
I love this.
This was a really good issue because the main problem with Brian Ruckley's run has been the pacing. It's been too stretched out. It takes forever for anything to happen. And this issue works because it is a one shot. He is forced to tell his entire story from beginning, middle, and end in this entire one issue. And he managed to do it. It was perfectly paced. It moved along really quick, had a lot of really cool ideas, introduced some new stuff, and it gave us some new status quos for some characters moving forward.
I'm ready to see what happens next. The last issue of the main series that wasn't the annual was solid. You know, it appears that we're going to get a time jump. This just adds to that. Yeah, great issue. I loved it.
Yep. I hope this means that we're going to get good things coming from Transformers.
We're not. Transformers Escape number 3 next week. It's
well,
terrible.
yeah, that stuff's going to be bad.
Maybe number 4. Maybe number 4. It's a terrible book. Terrible series.
But I really like this issue.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad that this.
Yeah, me too.
This
Great
came out.
book. All right, let's do top 3. I'm going to go first this week because mine is simple.
Yeah, let's try to speed run these because we've been
Let's try
going
to
really
speed
long.
run these. It's late. I'll go first. Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal. This is some honorable mentions. Number 2, Garth Ennis, raunchy and crazy, great issue. Geiger, number 3 by Jonathan Frank. Good pacing, a whole lot more story. Still doesn't quite have me on board 100%, but every issue is getting better than the last, so that's good. And then also a shout out to 6 Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton, number 1, Kyle Starks and Chris Schweitzer. Solid start to a comedy action comic about an actor who dies, and his 6 sidekicks throughout his career, different shows he had, get together to solve his murder. Really fun book. But I think my top 3 this week is the X-Men books in no particular order for a second week in a row.
Really? Even Children of Adam?
Yes, because
Really?
No, listen.
Really?
I love the Cradle shit, dude. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The book didn't have to tie in to the Hellfire Gala at all. But it did.
If you're looking at this as a tie-in to the Hellfire Gala, it wasn't a tie-in to the Hellfire Gala. But like, if you're just looking at this as like a continuation of the previous issue, yeah, it's good. It's fine.
Yeah, but it still did have a tie-in. At least, you know, they
in the
mentioned
biggest possible sense.
But it still works in the overall context of what the Hellfire Gala is supposed to be. Because what the Hellfire Gala is to me is, yes, it's going on in the background, but what's at the forefront is not actually the Hellfire Gala. It's how the Hellfire Gala is impacting everything else that's going on. And it's the growth that occurs within those books that are actually, you know, the important part of everything.
So, you know what I think's going on is I think you're just too lazy to come up with a top 3, and it's convenient that the X-Men have 3 books every week.
I had 3 honorable mentions.
Maybe he was trying to like get through it really quick, but we have sabotaged that effort.
But I have 3. I just because I knew you guys were going to talk shit, I did have 3, you know, regular books in honorable mentions. So I just really love what they're doing with the Hellfire.
I like Children of the Atom. I'm enjoying it still.
I like Children of the Atom too.
But yeah, I mean, only one of the Gala books is on my top 3 this week. So yeah, I guess just take that for what it is.
So we'll just go around the clock, Adam. Honorable mentions. And
you know what?
3.
I'm gonna do it. Transformers Annual 2021 is gonna be my number 3.
Nice.
You know, it was really damn good.
I loved it, man.
It gave us it gave us a combiner. It had some really interesting, just random sci-fi gobbledygook ideas in there. Had
and some fan favorite characters.
Had a great Titan fight, and it was a one and done story. So it was good.
Good choice, Dave.
All right.
Give us the twice speed version of your top 3.
Honorable mentions of the X books this week. I really enjoyed the Excalibur number 23. I don't normally read a lot of X books, but this one I liked it well enough that even with the kind of like spread out storytelling of the Hellfire Gala, this one was rather entertaining.
Nice.
And my other honorable mention this week is going to be Black Hammer Visions number 5, which deals with Skulldigger, and kind of
I did not read that one. That slipped off my list.
It's kind of a like a Batman Catwoman, you know, cat and mouse game with Skulldigger and a Jewel Thief, and in the end of it, they go to some kind of party, and I don't want to spoil the rest of it, but
don't spoil it.
It was good. It's outside. You know, Skulldigger is part of the Black Hammer universe, but he's not one of these guys that's been on the farm.
Yeah, it's outside the team.
Yeah.
All right, number 3.
My number 3 book is going to be Geiger number 3.
Nice. Jeff Johns, Gary Frank.
We get kind of the book kind of threw me for a loop because at the beginning of it, I didn't realize until later on that it was telling you about the flashback, because all these previous 2 books have been telling you that the glowing man has been waiting outside of a bunker to wait for his family to emerge, and what happens in the book basically demonstrates that it's all for naught, and
they've been dead forever.
They've been dead since the bombs dropped.
and he's just hanging on to a dream.
Yeah, and he
Oh,
has
that's
this the really
Yeah, it
poignant.
was.
He has a really poignant moment with the king of
king.
Las Vegas, and he like grabs his like protective shield and basically melts through it. It's like
He's a nuclear man.
And he's like, you have stolen hope from me.
Yeah.
But he turns around with these two kids on the run from the people in Las Vegas and was like you're going somewhere safe. Give me the map. I'll take you. So now he's got a new reason and a new mission. And I like that.
Like you said, it jumped around a little bit. Like the pacing was off in the way you
Yeah.
said it, but it had this really cool sort of sequence where all these things are happening and you sort of see the man break,
Yeah.
the electric man or radioactive man or whatever the fuck.
It kind of goes into this sequence of why one of the potential reasons why he survived the bombs.
Yeah.
Another potential reason as to why he's the glowing man that can emit radiation.
Yeah.
And that, why he stayed where he stayed was all for nothing, but now he's got a new purpose.
New mission. Yeah, new purpose. Johns is definitely taking his time with this first arc, but like I said, every issue is getting better than the last one. So we'll see.
The story is progressing.
Exactly. Good choice. Taylor, honorable mentions.
Okay, well, fuck honorable mentions. We ain't got time for that. So I'm just going to go straight to number 3, which is going to be Heroes Reborn number 6. It was really just one big fight between Power Princess and Thor, but it was
a really fun fight, though.
Yeah, Drunk
great
Thor was
fight.
really entertaining. And like he was saying, Power Princess's inner monologue is really revelatory about her character. So yeah, it was a fun read. I'm enjoying that. Like we're kind of building up to a head here. I'm looking forward to next week.
Good choice. Good choice. My threes were the X books. Adam, number 2.
My number 2 was X-Men number 21.
Nice.
As
This
much as
is
I
my
didn't
number
like
2 as well.
Yeah, as much as I didn't like the Kevin
flying
Feige
through this
scene.
now, guys. Slow it down. Slow it
As
down.
much as I didn't like the
No.
Kevin Feige scene, the rest of this was great. The Namor, man, Hickman is just the best at writing Namor.
He is. I love it.
He's
Well,
good
that's
at
all I
writing
gotta say.
Namor. I think my favorite for him is still Mr. Sinister, but
Sure.
Namor is definitely one of his pet characters. That he
Yeah, we
likes
didn't
to
even
write
bring
for.
up the 2 pages of Sinister Secrets we got this issue, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
love. I
Those
love
are always,
those
yeah,
so much.
that's one of the main. That was maybe my favorite particular part of this issue. Is it's really fun to kind of like pick apart. Ooh, what are you talking about, Sinister? It's a really fun way to tease things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Cool. Dave, number 2.
My number 2 is going to be Heroes Reborn number
6. Cool.
We're
We're flying through this now. Oh my gosh.
Just compared to like the previous 2 issues, this one was a lot better. I felt as a read. We do get to see a lot of the motivations behind Power Princess, essentially just starting fights because she's bored.
Right.
And so when she encounters Thor, it's like, oh gosh, this is somebody on my level.
Yeah, she's almost
Drunken
happy
Thor.
about the fight.
Yeah, she's like, ooh.
Yeah. Cool. Good choice.
Yeah.
So Taylor's number 2 was X-Men. We're up to number 1. Adam.
My number 1 was Joker number 4.
Oh man, you're gonna make me read this damn series, dude.
You know what? So this is the end of the first arc. So 4
Wait a
issues.
second, it's an ongoing series now?
Oh yeah, it's an ongoing series. It's been an ongoing
I
series.
didn't. I thought it was a mini. I thought it was a.
I thought it was a mini.
It might go to 12, but it's definitely still going.
Okay.
This was the end of the first arc, and there's an issue after this. So
sure.
But this was the issue where everybody kind of collides. The Smoking Aces fight happens.
Nice.
You have the new Bane show up, beats up all these mercenaries. You have these like Texas chainsaw people who show up, who's skinning people. I mean, there's all this awesome stuff fighting, but then you have this awesome Gillian March art where in one scene, Gordon starts tripping on some Joker gas.
Oh, cool!
And you just see some just crazy Gillian March Joker images.
Nice.
And the part that I really like about this book, though, is as much as you see all that crazy stuff, it actually digs into the Jim Gordon Joker relationship. They sit down and they actually have like a 3-page conversation about why they do the things they do to each other. And it ends with Joker giving Jim Gordon a mission to figure out who started that A-Day attack at Arkham.
Oh, so going all the way back to Infinite Frontier or whatever it was?
that 1-0 issue of Infinite Frontier or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's interesting.
Yep.
You know,
it is.
In terms of the overall DCU.
Cool. This is the one Batman book that is like 100% hitting for me, except for the Punchline book in the back. That book sucks. But the main Joker book, as much as I don't want to admit it, it's been damn great.
See, you're gonna make me pick it up, man. I'm gonna have to find it and read it. Good choice, Dave. Number one. My
number one pick is the 6 sidekicks of Trigger Keaton.
I knew that. I'd have bet
Kyle
you
Starks,
$1 million.
Kyle Starks on board. Just Kyle Starks alone on
Kyle
board.
Starks did a book called
Rock Candy Mountain.
Mountain about
he did
hobo life.
Yeah, he did a book about assassination, or basically like assassination, but it was a bunch of assassins come together to protect the mob boss.
Yeah, I already described this book. It's an action comedy about an actor who dies, who's found dead, and his 6 sidekicks from all of his career shows get together to solve his murder. And really, that's all that happens in the first issue. There's
kind of a big fight at the end of the book.
Yeah,
and a stuntman war gets declared.
Yes, I don't understand what that's going to be.
It's a war with stuntmen.
I'm anxious to see what it is. Kyle Starks is always good for action comedy. I think this is going to be the same thing.
I'm on board. I enjoy Kyle Starks' work, and I'm on board. And this book was not disappointing.
Yeah, Chris Schweitzer does the art, by the way. FYI. Excellent choice. Taylor's rapping it.
You're going to hate this. Batman the Detective #3.
The Tom Taylor book.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fun Batman, and I can't tell you how much I've been missing that for like years now.
See, you're going to make me pick this shit up now, too. I'm trying to drop Batman. You guys are making me pick up Batman.
It's got a lot of fun action. It has a training arc, which I'm always a sucker for a training arc.
He's always a sucker for a montage.
But I love the like dynamic he has with this like mentor guy that he was working with, Henry Ducard, I think his name was. Yeah. Tom Taylor does a good job writing kind of interpersonal relationships. We see that a lot with the Nightwing book, and it's on display here as well. Fight scenes are great. Kubert's art is really on point. I still think it's a little weird the way he's drawing Bruce Wayne when he's out of the Batman suit, but that is the only quibble I have about his artwork. So, yeah, it's fun. It's just fucking fun, and I really miss that from a Batman book. So, that's enough for me to put it number 1.
You a-holes are going to make me go back and read more Batman. I don't want to. Thanks for listening to everybody. Go to outrightgeekery.com. Check out all of our links there. We got links to all of our social media and shit like that. We do other shows. We got the Monday night show. We got our irregular Tuesday night show, which hopefully will come again sooner or later. We got the Comic Book Bullies. They are not having a show this week because Leroy had a previous engagement. I did invite Eli to this episode that we just recorded, but he's got schedule conflicts, so no show from them this week. But they'll be back.
I mean, you don't have to pad it for our feelings, Gomer. You didn't want to show up.
I'm sorry, I didn't want you guys like Eli. Fucking hates y'all. All right, he wasn't about to sit here.
I figured as much.
But I love Eli.
I can't pretend I'm surprised. I hate us too.
They'll be back soon. Big Willie's doing shows throughout the week, all the time, creator interviews and stuff. So just keep checking back. We're doing shit all the time. We really appreciate it. Thanks for listening, but most of all, thanks for these jokers for hanging out with this joker.
Anytime, always a pleasure.
We're gonna do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel. Somebody pour water on you?
Yeah. Man, we went way over. So much good news. So much good news.